I'm not okay yet. That's really what I want to say. I'm not okay yet. I spent much of the week feeling really bad about that. Feeling like I was supposed to be okay. Supposed to be okay because nothing happened. Nothing really. It was supposed to be okay because I'm supposed to be the leader in the congregation and I'm supposed to project being okay so that other people can fall apart, but not me. And I want to thank, and I will thank forever, Ed Levin from last week. When we walked out and we were out in the parking lot, and I looked at Ed and I said, what's a rabbi supposed to do right now? And Ed said, be a person. I'm going to remember that for the rest of my life. Thank you. And still, I've been having a hard time with it. And so I've been snapping at Grace and snapping at Ann. And sitting in front of my computer, trying to get an email written and finding that it's taken me 45 minutes to write a short email. And finding that getting to sleep at night is a little hard and getting up in the morning is a little harder. Not okay yet. And thank God for friends. Because Wednesday afternoon, I called one of my dearest friends, Rabbi Dan Kamen, who was an intern here, who followed me. Spent 2 years here at CBI and is now the Tulsa Rav. And I called him and I said, hi, Dan. I think I'm not okay. And he said back to me, of course you're not okay. It's been 4 days since you and your community were violated. I'd be more worried if you were okay. And I said, that's exactly what I would say to somebody else. In fact, exactly what I've been saying to people all week long. But just because you can say it to somebody else doesn't mean you don't need to hear it yourself. I'm not okay yet. It will be. We will be. But it takes a little bit of time. And that's okay. We live in a culture which is deeply not okay with not being okay. We live in a culture where if you're sad, that's something that needs to be fixed. That's something that needs to be numbed. If you're having a hard time, scroll more. If you're having a hard time, binge watch something. If you're having a hard time, take a drink, pop a pill, take a puff. If you're having a hard time, do something to numb it, or do something to fix it. Because if you're having a hard time, you must be broken and in need of fixing. We live in a culture which is very not okay with us being not okay sometimes. Thank God for a Jewish culture that is okay with the full range of human emotional experience. Tisha B'Av is a beautiful holiday. Tisha B'Av is a holiday in which we're told it's okay to not be okay, even about something that took place 2,000 years ago. Tisha B'Av is a holiday in which we say it's okay to sometimes need to sit in a darkened room, in which we need to sometimes lament, and not immediately rush to comfort, not immediately rush to fix it, not go numb to it, but just to experience the depths that we are capable of, the depths of sadness, and to sit there together in it. That's an important affirmation of our humanness. That's an important thing to have the capacity to do. We have to be able to be sad. We have to be able to grieve. We have to be able to cry without thinking that those things are pathological and problems, but instead to recognize them as our human response to the fact that the world is a hard place to live in. we practice on Tisha B'Av that it's okay to be sad and it doesn't have to be fixed right away. And we also practice the Shabbat that immediately follows, accepting comfort. This Shabbat is called Shabbat Nachamu. And we read the lines from Isaiah that begin, Nachamu, Nachamu, Ami. Be comforted, my people. Our cantor has sung them again and again this morning. That we practice what it is to receive reassurance, to receive comfort, to know that even in the darkness, there is the possibility that tomorrow will be better. And for those who have known deep grief, you know that it doesn't go away ever in its entirety. The best that you can hope for is that tomorrow might be a little bit better than today. And that a year from now might be a little bit better than right now. And that the waves of grief may be farther apart from one another, not lessened in their intensity, but there may be moments of greater calm seas. We practice feeling sad because we need to be able to feel that. We practice receiving reassurance because we need to believe that reassurance is possible, that healing is possible, that we're not in Tisha B'Av 365 days a year, but in fact, the week afterward, we get up and say, let us be comforted, let us be comforted. One of my very favorite Jewish practices is the practice which concludes the week of Shiva. From the day of the funeral, we count off 7 days, and in the morning of the 7th day, the custom is to finish the morning service and then to allow your friends to take your hand and to walk you outside and to walk you around the block and to reintroduce you to the light and to reintroduce you to growing things, to trees and to flowers, to children and to pets, to reintroduce you to the world, to say you were in the dark and it's time to come out now and return slowly, carefully, step by step, supported on either side, back on into the light. Showing up in a sanctuary which was defiled a week ago, and showing back up and filling this place with song and with Torah and with community is like walking out of Shiva holding hands and reminding ourselves that this place is still here. This place is safe. This place is community. This place is home. Walking back into the light together. I'm not okay yet, but I will be. And if you're in that same place, you will be too. You're not broken if you're feeling sad about this or anything. There's hope. There's possibility. There's comfort. And it's time. Shabbat Shalom.